Hi everyone, my name is Abby. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you a video on how to adjust exposure in a photograph on Photoshop CC 2017. I hope this video is helpful in some way to you, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by opening our camera raw file. So I have some pictures here that we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this very first image that I have here. And it's some cute giraffes. It's a baby giraffe. I was trying to take a picture of just the baby giraffe that I took at the zoo. And for those of you that don't know what exposure is, just really quick, exposure is the unit of measurement for the total amount of light permitted to reach the electronic sensor during the process of taking a picture. The two main controls your digital camera uses to control exposure are shutter speed and aperture. But sometimes we don't get it right, especially when we're beginning. Luckily, we have Photoshop to fix any mistakes we have in the photo taking process. So you're going to open up your raw image and you're going to click on it in whatever file folder you have it in. And let me just put it out there, there's more than one way to adjust exposure in Photoshop. Today we're only going to cover one way, how to adjust exposure using the camera raw window, which you see here. It's the first window that opens when you click on your raw image. So in this case, we have an overexposed picture of some giraffes that I took on a trip to the LA Zoo. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the exposure adjusting slider tool, which is going to be on your right. And it's going to be the very first, the third slider tool from top to bottom. And it's, you can see here that it says exposure. And as you can see, when I move the slider to the right, it's going to increase the exposure. And when I move it to the left, you can see how the exposure lessens. You can see more detail in it as well. So just so you can see the importance of exposure in a picture. You can also get a lot more detail depending on your exposure. So you can see right here, let me just slide it forward and backwards so you can see how the picture changes. Okay, so we're going to move the arrow over to the left in this case. Let me reset it to 0 so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here we have it at 0 as the picture was taken. So when I move the arrow to the left, I'm actually going to look and keep moving the slider so I get the exposure that I want. So you can see how the picture goes and changes as I move the slider to the left. And I don't want it to be too dark. So, because we already have some shade going on here with this tree. So, let's see. For me, I think I'm going to keep it at 0.70, negative 0.70. So, what you want to do with your picture is move the arrow over to the left until you get the exposure that you want on your photograph. And this is just one of the ways we can adjust the exposure on a photograph. Let's try it with another image. So, let's just close out of there and let's try using this image. I don't know what it is. Let's just look. Okay, so you can see here some flowers. Close up picture, some flowers. So it's already set at 0. So you're gonna go over to your exposure slider tool, and you're either gonna move it to the right or you're gonna move it to the left, depending on what your exposure, on what you want your exposure to be. In this case, I think I'm gonna move it a little bit more to the right. And I actually think it's pretty good here. 0.20 is too much. Let's see. 0.15. So 0.15 is a perfect exposure for me. You can see the beauty and the details of the white that we have here and the little green in the background. This is all blurred out. So this would be my perfect exposure for this photograph. Like I said, you can adjust the exposure as you want with your own picture. So after you're done with the exposure, you can just press open image here on the bottom right corner. And you're going to have your picture here on Photoshop, and you're going to have all these tools accessible to edit. We will be going over these tools in further videos, but for now that will be it. I just wanted to go over adjusting exposure using the Adobe Camera Raw window. So that will be all for today. Stay tuned for more videos and click the subscribe button if you like this video. Comment down below on any requests for videos that you have. I will be uploading some tutorials on how to edit photographs. For right now, I think we are going to go over all the basics in the Adobe Camera Raw window. But if you have suggestions, please feel free to comment. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you guys all have a nice day, and stay tuned for the next video.